So you've decided to homeschool. Now what?
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you.
Hello everyone, it is so nice to see you. If you are new to my channel, my name is Casey. I am a homeschooling mom of 2. I am a former teacher, and this will be my 5th year of homeschooling. So I love to share all things about homeschool and about our lives and what we do as a homeschool family. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. It definitely helps my channel, and you'll be able to know when I upload new videos. All right, so let's dive into it. You're thinking about homeschooling, or you've just decided to homeschool. Now what? So a lot of you have probably already done research on the internet and did a quick look around and thought, you know, I could do this. Or some of you were thinking, oh my goodness, can I do this? And the answer is you can. There are people who Google and Google and Google and research and research and research forever before they decide to homeschool, and it could take them years. And then there's people who just jump in, you know, head first and go right into it and see how it was. Now, I am more of a like, let me put my toe in, let me see how this is kind of person, but that's not how we handled homeschooling. We literally just jumped in. I did a little bit of research. So I had one friend who was an adult that was homeschooled as a child, and she gave me a couple of things to help me get started. As a former teacher, I kind of think it was a little easy for me, sort of like I had the confidence that I could teach it, that I could pick out curriculum. I knew I could do that. For me, there were a lot of different challenges besides that. Mostly never being alone. But in our family, I have a son who is 8 years old, and I have a daughter who's 13 months currently. So I only homeschool one, and my son has never been to public school, so he doesn't know the difference. Some of you who may have kids who've been to public school a year, a couple years, or maybe in this last year where everything was crazy and, you know, they spent a lot of time at home, and maybe you're one of those that decided, you know what, I kind of like this. This might be a lot of fun. So what I want to do is share a few things with you, especially for those of you that have no idea where to start. I want to give you some quick tips, some things that will get you started immediately. You could Google and research till you're blue in the face, but these are some things that hopefully will help you get started and ease a little bit of your anxiety. Number 1, you need to know the homeschool laws in your state, and every state is different. If you don't already know them, I would suggest you go to Homeschool Legal Defense Association. I will link their website down below, and you don't have to be a member to be able to use a lot of their resources, but on their website, you put in your state and they will give you a quick synopsis of all the laws in your state. That way you have an idea of where you start, what they expect from you. Some states don't require any notice. Some states, you know, require that you open up a school. Some states require end of the year testing. Some states do not. It just depends. So it is very important that legally you know exactly what your state expects from you. Now, Homeschool Legal Defense is something that we were not always members of. It is where I started to understand the laws in the state we were living in at the time, and it gave me a great place to start. In the last year, we decided that it was very important that we become members because it's an organization that has lawyers that specialize in specific states' homeschool laws. So if you ever have any issues, a lot of times, I read these stories all the time, but a lot of times districts don't always know what their homeschool laws are. And sometimes they try to make it difficult in certain places for some people. So being a member of Homeschool Legal Defense means that you have an attorney to help you out with those things that may come up. Now, have I ever had an issue? I need to knock on wood. No, but I feel better knowing that, we have that option. And honestly, I think we pay $12 a month. So for us, it was a good option, but you don't have to be able to use the resources that I'm telling you about right now. Number 2, start small. Do not think you have to just jump in and take these huge bites of everything and you have to know everything right away. It is impossible. Ask any homeschool mother, watch any other homeschool YouTube channel, and they'll all tell you. You learn so much year after year after year. I'm on my 5th year and every year has been completely different. The easiest ways to start right now, if you need to start this week, you need to start next week, you needed to start 3 days ago, I would suggest you focus on just reading and math for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, whatever it is that you need. Remember, you're changing the way that you're doing life. Whether you're leaving a job or you used to stay home and your kids were never home and now they're all home, or any kind of situation like that, give yourself some grace, because you will be so hard on yourself thinking that you need to do it all right now. You don't. Now, a lot of states will suggest, I was living in a previous state where I had to keep an attendance log. They suggested 180 days, which is normally the average school year is 180 days. And then they suggested specific subjects that they wanted you to cover as a homeschooler. Still, you can start out small. A lot of homeschool moms, and especially me, we start out with a little bit. We do a week. Then the next week we add on like another subject, and then we add on another subject, another subject, because it's really hard to go from doing nothing and having summer vacation and jumping right in. It's different when your kids go to school and that's what they expect, but at home things are different. So especially if your child or children used to be in public school and now they're not going to know what to expect, and they may need kind of a break. They may need to ease in. But mostly I say this for you to keep your sanity, because you could make yourself insane really quickly. So start out with like reading and math. And then, add on science. You don't have to have a curriculum right away for something like that, especially if your kids are in elementary school. Find a book that's on a topic that you like. Same thing with history. Sit down, read it together, discuss it. You could add on activities that go with it. You could add on field trips that go with it. You could do a craft that goes with it. It doesn't have to be super in-depth. Don't stress yourself out immediately. Take the time. It does get easier. I am not a Pinterest mom. I'm not. I don't do like Pinterest birthday parties with themes and all these amazing things. That's just not me, and I don't do that. But I can still successfully homeschool without printing out a million things and laminating everything and homemaking everything. You don't have to. If you want to and you enjoy it, that's amazing, but you don't have to. So don't think that you need to. If you're one of those that needs to jump into homeschool quickly, you may not know what curriculum to use. You may not be able to get it right away. It might take a few weeks. You just may be completely confused on what to use, and that's okay. Let me just tell you a secret. Most homeschool moms do not stick with the same curriculum from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. If it's not working for your family, if it's not working for you, if it's not working for your kid, you're not going to keep using it. Now, you also may have a little financial straits right now where you've left your job and you and your spouse are trying to figure out, okay, how do we manage on one income? Well, the easiest suggestion I could give you, only from my experience, and there's lots of other things out there. You could Google, you could look up YouTube videos for things like this, but I do love the good and the beautiful, especially for elementary grades. So The Good and the Beautiful, cool thing, offers their language arts and their math for free. And I had to look it up real quick. They actually offer their language arts from levels 1 through 5 for free as a download on their website. Now what you need to do is you put in your email address to end up on an emailing list, and then you could print stuff out. You don't have to print out the whole thing. Just print out a few lessons. Use it to get you started. If you love it, great, buy it. If you don't, it gives you time to find something else. And this is just a resource that I know, and I'm gonna say I have used as a free download. There have been times like, we finished a book for a specific level and I just didn't want to have to wait to order it. So I went ahead and downloaded it and, did a certain amount of lessons, decided if we were going to keep going. So that's really good. And then for math, The Good and the Beautiful also offers levels 1 through 5 for free. Now they just updated their math, which is great. I loved it before, but they've simplified it. It's beautiful, it's engaging, kids enjoy it, I enjoy it. I do know people who don't like it, and that's okay. But it's free. It's a resource that's available to you. Print out a few lessons, give it a try, and most likely either you're gonna love it or it's gonna give you time to find something else that you like and to do the research that you wanna do. So, also the library. The library is an amazing resource. Now, as I was writing my list of things to make this video today, we recently just moved. If you are new, we had to make a cross-country move this year. And where we were previously, our libraries had not been open for like a year and a half. When we left, they still weren't open. I called the city manager a few times to say, hey, I'm paying taxes, I need to use the library, but they were using it for county employees' children that could not go back to school. And in the place we were living, they did not go back to school till like 6 weeks before school got out. So we didn't have the option of the library, which was pretty miserable actually for us because we love the library. And so I was doing research, reminding myself, oh yeah, we need to go check out the library here. Yeah, it's closed too. We're on the other side of the country and the library is closed. So, but what I will tell you, Barnes and Noble never closed. And all the things that happened in the world in the last year and a half or so, Barnes and Noble, where I was, it never closed. So we used it as a library. There weren't a lot of people there. It's different now, but we just used it as the library. We went and talked about like, hey, let's look for space books today. And he would just sit down and we'd look at them and we'd talk about things. It was basically a free resource if you choose not to buy them. So that's also something that you can do to get you started. Now, don't get overwhelmed because there are all these methods for homeschooling. If you find one you love and you think it fits your family, great. I do not follow a specific method. There's all different types, and as you start to Google, you'll be like, whoa. Y'all, it could become like drinking from a fire hose. Don't overwhelm yourself, especially in the first few weeks, in the first few months, even in your first year. There's so much. Take it one day at a time. You can do it. Trust me, I did it. You don't have to be a former teacher. You don't have to have been homeschooled as a child to be able to do this. You are your child's first teacher. Think about that. So, if you are not new and you have advice that you would like to give someone who is either thinking about homeschooling or just made the decision, someone who doesn't know where to start, leave some advice below. If there are free resources you know about, things that you did in your first year, in your first few months, leave those comments below, because I didn't want this video to be just hours and hours and hours long. So if you have any advice or anything that you would like to pass on to someone else who is new, please leave it below, because any resource can be helpful to anybody, even me, even someone who's been homeschooling for, 10, 15 years. So I am so excited to be here with you guys again. I kind of feel like, if you are not new, welcome to my new YouTube space. It took a really long time to find a corner in the house that it was going to work. And honestly, y'all, I could not find the majority of the stuff that I used to have. I still can't find the pillow that used to be here. I can't find the sign that used to be here. I can't find the fake plants. Oh, whoop. My battery died a few minutes ago, and so I had to get up and plug in my camera, so that's why the table's all weird. Even my fake plants, I can't find them. This is not fake. This is real. I had to leave my real plants with my mom because we just ran out of space before, we took our second leg across the country. But anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, please do. I would love to have you in our community, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope some of this helped you. Bye.
Every change